Real-life visa stories. We have built a community of close-knit people, and the below stories are from these members. Some interesting learnings here. Dane, Zira, and Isabel. Dane and Zira were a couple in their mid-30s when they arrived, with their beautiful 6-year-old daughter, Isabel. They were running their own electronics e-commerce business in their home country, but they decided to move to Australia to provide an opportunity of world-class upbringing and education and a relaxed lifestyle for their daughter. They arrived on a student visa, which they both had. They were both enrolled in a course. Zira was studying English first, and after 6 months, she started the finance course. Dane had better English from the start. He signed up for a 1-year-long general information technology course. For 1 year, they were living off their savings they brought with them from overseas, and they also had a part-time job. Dane was working as a delivery driver at the post office, and Zira was cleaning houses to complement their savings to be able to pay rent, everyday necessities, and public school fees for their daughter. Dane established his delivery service small business later with a local business partner, and the company organized a work visa for him and his wife. Later, they switched to permanent residency, and after 2 years on a PR visa, they applied for citizenship. They are already Australian citizens, living happily ever after. Key learning here. As mentioned previously, if you arrive on a student visa, it is enough if one of the family members are on that visa. You don't need both. They could have saved $470 visa application fee for additional application charge and the IT course fee of about $16,000. Dane could have started working as soon as they arrived while Zira was attending the English course. Gerardo and his big dreams. Gerardo, a finance professional in his late 20s, had always had a dream to move to Australia and enjoy all the benefits the country could offer. He thought he would choose the sponsored work visa pathway, and he started to send applications for various job roles from overseas. He was unsuccessful and could not find a work sponsor while overseas. After 6 months, he decided to come to Australia on a student visa, as this was the easiest way to enter the country for a longer stay. He enrolled in an accounting diploma course, and he kept applying for jobs in finance to have at least a part-time occupation and the monetary support for his rent and general living costs. After a few months trying, he managed to get a part-time job in finance. He was working for a wastewater management company for a year, and because his employer was very satisfied with his performance, they agreed to offer him work sponsorship. He signed a 2-year agreement to stay with this company. After 2 years, he applied for a permanent residency visa, which is an accelerated pathway for people already on work visas. He obtained his PR, and after additional 2 years, he applied for citizenship, which he received. The learning here: it is very hard to find a work sponsor from overseas. Not mission impossible, but even if you have a very desirable profession, Australian employers do not know your background and the company you work for. It is easier to find work sponsors when you are already here. Gerardo could have saved 6 months and come earlier on a student visa. A family of 5: Bruno, Angela, and the kids. Bruno and Angela, a couple in their late 30s, have 3 children aged 5, 9, and 11. Both have engineering background and university education. They applied for a permanent residency PR visa through the Skilled Immigration Program, and after 2 years, they were granted the visa. They arrived in Australia, and within a few months, they both could find jobs in their profession. The first couple of months were tough from a financial point of view. However, Bruno was very lucky because his previous overseas employer offered him project work that he could do remotely, so he was able to earn money from the moment they arrived to support the family. The learning here: don't be disappointed if you qualify for the skilled immigration program and you do not receive your visa fast. It usually takes years before you are invited to move to Australia. Be patient. It is also a good idea if you can still do some work online for your previous employer, so you don't start from zero and you have some regular earning in place to support your cost of living. Zelan and Andrea, a couple in their early 40s. Zelan and Andrea had a good life in their home country, but they were looking for broadening their work experience and also wanted an adventure. They tried the skilled migration program, but because of their age, they did not reach enough points to qualify. They contacted an immigration agent who also deemed their case mission impossible. There were two pathways for them, either to get a student visa or a work visa. They thought they were too old to start from zero again. Studying and a part-time job was not very attractive for them. Zelan was working for a large international company. He thought he might inquire about job opportunities within the company. There may be any vacancies in the Australian subsidiary. At that time, there was nothing available. He decided to have a holiday in Australia with his wife. They traveled around the country for 3 weeks, and they also visited the Australian branch of his company. He met a couple of his colleagues. One of the managers mentioned that someone in his team left, and he was restructuring the group. He was looking for a technical service engineer. Zelan got lucky. He had the background and work experience. He applied for the job. He was competing with Australian candidates, but finally he proved to be the best and got the job. The company organized the work sponsorship visa, and soon he and his wife moved to Australia. After 2 years on a work visa, the usual story, they switched to a PR visa and then later applied for citizenship. The learning here: before you give up, explore all options. If you are working for an international company or you have a network of people who are working for an international company, use them to find a work opportunity. This story also demonstrates that you need to be at the right place at the right time. Zelan traveled to Australia on a holiday, and he visited his company, talked to a few managers. If he had not been in the country at that time, he may not have heard about this job opportunity. Summary: Australia is a multicultural society, a melting pot of many nations living together. There are hundreds of thousands of immigrants arriving every year. You can be one of them. Increase your attractiveness. If you think about moving seriously, start preparing right now. Sharpen your English skills, study, and get experience in desirable professions. Start learning about the culture and the opportunities and what it takes moving and living to Australia. The best investment is in yourself, developing your skills before the move. There are many visa types. It's not super easy to find the right path in the visa jungle. Key categories include study, work, permanent residency, partner, and family visas. Obtain professional advice, read and learn about the various options, and ask many questions. We have given you a brief overview of the many opportunities. Visa stories. It is always useful to pick up tips from other people's experience and mistakes. You can speed up your own path, and you can also save money you don't need to spend to qualify. I'm sure that the visa picture is getting clearer, and by now you have an understanding of what visa options are available for you. I hope you found the family examples useful. Australia is an immigration nation, And besides permanent movers, we also have plenty of people from diverse countries who spend time here temporarily. I mean, non-tourists. If your plans are serious, you can start working on increasing your attractiveness right away if you want to qualify for a visa. You can also test the visa points calculator to see what you need to improve. Studying here is a great option as well. We dedicated a whole chapter for those who are interested in education and study options both for yourself or for your kids. Check this out in the next topic. Let me finish with some personal stories. As mentioned, we came on a work visa which was valid for 4 years. After 2 years, we switched to a permanent visa, which was a very simple and straightforward process. And then, 2 years after, we applied for Australian citizenship. You need to spend at least 4 years in Australia to be able to apply. We loved the citizenship ceremony. It was serious but very funny at the same time. And we felt privileged to become an Australian. Currently, we are proud to have dual citizenships and hold 2 passports, which is very convenient for traveling. Maybe something similar is on your cards too. Who knows? Thank you for watching. See you in the next chapter. Have a good one.